It's been over 4 months since the Hollywood writers went on strike, and almost 2 months since the actors joined them. Nothing is being produced. Nothing is being promoted. Hollywood is shut down. But unfortunately for them, it doesn't seem like people really miss it. Even though the late night shows aren't on, even though actors aren't going around promoting their newest movie by pushing some sort of message, people don't seem to miss them. Woke Hollywood's on strike and no one misses them. And that's one of the reasons why I said in the beginning, I think this is the worst possible time for the writers and actors to go on strike. I'm certainly no fan of these big studios who have had their part in destroying entertainment, absolutely. But when you look at the landscape of Hollywood entertainment, with box office bombs everywhere, with increasingly cable revenue is down as people are cutting the cord and moving to streaming, unfortunately, streaming is also a loss for the vast majority of these companies. These studios have been bleeding, yet the actors and writers took this time to decide to strike and demand more, while the studios are just sitting there and letting them all go homeless. Increasingly over the last several years, people have been turning to other places for their entertainment, whether it's YouTube, whether it's podcasts, a variety of things. Your options are almost endless right now in terms of entertaining yourself rather than listening to Hollywood trash. Now, whether that's just because of the message that's been pushed in Hollywood over the last few years, or whether it's just because people are looking for a more authentic version of entertainment. They'd rather listen to a couple guys on a podcast talk about movies because they can relate to them. But regardless, it doesn't look like this is ending anytime soon. The Hollywood writers and actors, they are putting their foot in the ground. They say they're not moving, as a bunch of them are losing their homes and sleeping in their cars. Striking Hollywood workers facing evictions, some living in their cars. Keep in mind, there are a lot of people out there that are living, week to week, month to month, doing their thing, grinding, maybe not making a great living, but a solid living and just doing their thing. Well, all that stops. For 4 months now, these people have not been working. They have been out of work. And unless you're near the top of the food chain, you might not have the money to sustain yourself for 4 months. As the dual Hollywood strikes drag on with no end in sight, writers and actors are increasingly finding themselves in dire financial straits, with a growing number of striking workers reportedly facing evictions as they can no longer afford to pay rent. In certain cases, some have resorted to living in their cars. Several charitable organizations have been supporting the striking Hollywood workers with grants as they're seeing housing difficulties impact actors and writers as well as blue-collar crew members, according to account from The Hollywood Reporter. And that's the thing too, all the people that work on these sets that have nothing to do with writing, they have nothing to do with acting, they're holding a light, they're holding a microphone. They've been out of work too. I'll say it again. This was the worst time to go on strike, with so many of these big studios seeing a massive decrease in their revenue, massive failures everywhere, streaming, box office, etc. You decide that you're going to go on strike, and they are fine with not having to pay you for several months. For many non-celebrity actors, the strikes have been financially ruinous. The strike has had a massive impact on my housing situation. I worked 1 day in May, and since then, all my work has stopped, actor David Bach told The Hollywood Reporter. I've almost depleted my entire savings, and I haven't been able to pay my rent the last few months. My building manager and property owners extended me a grace period due to good social credit I built up by doing some gardening and landscaping. But in August, I received an eviction notice. There you go. Only so much gardening and landscaping can pay your rent, I suppose. The leader of 2 Hollywood charities told the magazine people are losing their homes due to the strike. They're giving people $1,500 grants to help them. Let's be real, $1,500 in Hollywood, in LA, ain't gonna cut it. People are becoming unhoused. They're being evicted from their homes. They're not paying their mortgages, so eventually they'll lose their homes as well. We're talking to people who are living in their cars, in some cases with their families. The actors and writers' strikes against Hollywood studios show no sign of ending as the warring sides continue to dig in their heels on key negotiating points regarding streaming compensation, and AI has brought TV and movie production to a virtual halt. Now, maybe it'll get so bad that they're going to run out of stuff they've already worked on that they can actually put out over the next several months. And eventually something will have to happen. There will be some kind of negotiation. But for right now, I think the studios are perfectly happy to sit there and starve out a lot of these people as they don't have to pay out hundreds of millions of dollars right now in production costs for things that are failing. I'm not on anyone's side when it comes to this woke Hollywood strike. I think the actors and the writers have both played a big role in the downfall of entertainment. The studios are equally to blame for that and the things that they've been pushing. However, now you got everybody pointing at each other saying, we need this, we need that, we need that. And at the end of the day, normal people, they don't really care. They're not really missing it all that much. They are going to find ways to entertain themselves that have nothing to do with Hollywood. The people that I do have sympathy for, the people that have nothing to do with a lot of that, the people that are just normal workers, the people that aren't trying to push this message, that are caught up in this because they're forced to be part of this union that is now putting them out of their homes. Those are the people that I do have sympathy for. But the people that are behind this strike, the people that are pushing all this stuff, the studios, the actors, the writers, the big top dogs, quite frankly, I couldn't care less. Let me know your thoughts about all this in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.